Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our inaugural Greater Sydney Schools Cattle Competition. And what a year we've had. Amanda and myself will be your Master of Ceremonies for this award ceremony this evening, and we welcome you all here. Sorry. Just a little bit of housekeeping from Ms Moore on behalf of the college.
In case of emergency, we will have to move back out through the corridor and onto the oval. If you need toilets, they're just back outside and to your right. I know you all did the induction, so I'm sure you'll be fine.
And just for your, just so you know, this event is actually being live streamed for some of our sponsors and esteemed guests who couldn't make it up today. So just keep that in mind. So let's kick it off. I would like to begin by inviting Holly up for acknowledgement of country.
I would like to acknowledge that this school is on the land of the Mulgoa clan of the Darug Nation. We recognise that the Darug people are the traditional custodians of this land. I would also like to pay respect to the elders both past and present of the Darug Nation and extend that respect to other Indigenous Australians who are present.
So before we begin going any further, I would like to introduce Mr. Stephen Blunden, a very key person to tonight's events.
Welcome to you all. A very special welcome to our principals and headmasters, guests, teachers, students and family members. What a day of eras, finishing and beginning. Very symbolic for us. I dare say the date of this inaugural award ceremony will be forever linked to the life and now death of an amazing woman and queen. We have been on quite a journey the last 9 months, from a tentative conversation I had with a former student of mine, Greg Meeker. He later became a colleague, a livestock officer, beef cattle with New South Wales Agriculture. He is retired now and lives on a property near Gunning. I explained to him what I was trying to develop back in January this year. And he mentioned that he had a neighbour who had Murray grey cattle, which he had bought and fattened on his own property, and he believed they were good cattle. He said he would have a chat to them, and so this is where we are now. So I'd like you to warmly welcome Diane and Gary Prattley and their daughter Rochelle, who's watching online, from Shellygard Murray Grey Stud, Gunning. Most people here won't know how unique this program is or the competition is. This program had its genesis over 20 years ago from a conversation between the then Ken Langford, a lecturer at WSU and now retired as now Dr. Langford, and Charlie Castles, who was a teacher at Richmond High School at the time. The program commenced in 2001 and was designed to be a project activity and for students to immerse themselves into a real-life agricultural experience, that of raising a weaner steer to meet market specifications over a 100-day period. It's been refined over the years, but the core elements have remained the same, that of creating an experience for students in animal agriculture. I would like to share with you some of what I believe are the things that make this program different. To be able to run such a program requires incredible array of resources and capabilities. But the overall essential element is your respective schools' passionate, dedicated and committed agriculture teachers. It wouldn't happen without them. However, then to bring such a program to a school, you need principals and headmasters who not only support their staff, but encourage them and their students in agriculture. That is very evident today when we have 8 of the possible 9 principals and headmasters making this event, an important time in their very busy calendar. So thank you to you all. Another unique feature of this program is the number of retired teachers and graduates of our program who assist us throughout the program running. David Randall, formerly Richmond High School, Milton Gower, formerly Macarthur Anglican School, Luciano Masidi, formerly Colo High School and is now the CEO of PIFA, as well as teachers who are not currently in the program, such as Garrick Mulcahy at Prewood High School and Ms Justine Phillips is at St John's Paul II Calford College. Many students have gone on also from our program to work on farms and study agriculture, become teachers, commence businesses and become industry experts. They continue judging or showing cattle both in Australia and overseas. This year they include, but are not limited to, 2 associate judges that we had this year at Live Day 2022. Alana Wade, a former Colo High School student, graduated in animal science at WSU in 2019 and is now the owner of her own business called AMW Genetics and Livestock Breeding at Gulgong. Makwala Grimmer, hopefully I got that right, Caroline Chisholm College was also the other associate judge, and as I understand it, and I didn't put it in my notes, but won the junior judging competition, as I understand it, at the Royal this year. Also Beth Simons, Brittany Jones, Brooke Chandler, Indy Hilda and Thea Brayley were at this year's Live Day competition. You can't run our program also without the efforts of individuals and organisations. Our 2 major sponsors, Manildra and Charles Sturt University, are due to the 2 efforts of 2 people in particular. Ian Forbett, North Home Grammar, chased down the Manildra sponsorship. Danielle Cricks, B. Paulding College, chased down the Charles Sturt University sponsorship. Manildra is committed to the program in 2023, and as a sign of CSU's commitment, we have 2 young academics with us today who've driven all the way up from Wagga, Veronica Vikic and Emma Lynch. And they'll address you or us later, but we certainly welcome them as well. I know they'll be very keen to talk not only to teachers but to students after this, that anyone that's interested in pursuing a graduate career in agriculture. They are both doing PhDs or writing up their PhDs at present. I think Veronica, if I remember rightly, was from a non-rural background, whereas Emma is from a rural background. But they are keen not only to support graduates pursuing graduate careers, but also there's many points of entry. And it is great to have this association with CSU. We also have industry support. We have, I haven't seen, but hopefully he's here today, our Live Day judge, Stuart Glover, who is a senior technical officer at Sydney University. He has been a long supporter of ours and has got an incredible ability to teach and explain things to the students. And along with Kylie Jonkers, who is from Cayenne Limousins at Cowra, were our judges on the day in August. We had a carcass judge from Melanie Smith, who is from Meat and Livestock Australia, and a butcher retired, Peter Francisco from Picton Wholesale Meats, played a key role in our training day and has also sort of helped us and paved the way for us to be able to sell our carcasses. And there have been key events such as the settling in, receiving and handling of steers and introduction to feed, which was done by David Baker and staff and students at Macarthur Anglican. Daniel Reeve, Colo High and Shian Hardy, Richmond High, did the opening ceremony via Zoom. Nadine Sybil, St Columba's Catholic College, a training day. So you can see there's a lot of effort goes in by individuals and schools. And thank you very much to Stelina from Oak Hill College. She's an extraordinary photographer. If you've seen already some of the photos at the Live Day, and tonight is going to be taking our photos, and we really appreciate that. One last person in particular who I don't know where he's hiding and he'll be hiding here somewhere, is Andrew Heath from B. Polling College. It's one thing to have a concept such as a trophy. It's another thing to design it, and it's something else to construct 15 new trophies, which he's done for us all. So thank you. Thank you so much, Andrew. My extraordinary helpers, Amanda Moore and Justine Phillips, who have been doing amazing work with me for the results committee, organising today's ceremony, handbook, and all sorts of things behind. And before I do my final thanks, I'd like to let you know that later in the year we will be becoming a not-for-profit organisation, and whose aims will be to include supporting and encouraging agriculture education in Greater Sydney area, and particular programs like this, but much more. And finally, a very, very special thanks to Ms. Tanya Cairns, the principal leader, the staff, in particular Jeff, Amanda, Vicky and Di, hospitality students of Caroline Chisholm College for hosting and live streaming our inaugural awards ceremony. Thank you.
I would now like to invite Emma Lynch and Veronica Vichik from Charles Sturt University.
Thank you everyone, and thank you for this opportunity for us to come and speak to you this afternoon. And if we could just click onto the slides. No? Okay, I'll just run through this at the moment. So just to reintroduce, so Veronica and myself are associate lecturers within the School of Animal, Ag and Environmental Sciences at Charles Sturt University in Wagga. And what I just want to introduce you very briefly today is just going over some of our different careers and courses that we do at the university. And some of these courses that we can talk about are thinking about ag science, ag business management. We can also, within our ag school, thinking also about horticulture as another example. And if we're thinking more along the lines of our animal and within our vet school, so again, we do have our veterinary science and veterinary biology. We then also have our animal science, equine science with specialisations as well. And as you can see, all popped up perfectly. And for those, if you maybe just wanting to start off, we also do have our undergraduate certificates as well in agricultural studies as well. So there's plenty of different options. And again, I just wanted to basically just broaden this for you guys as well. Okay, so just thinking more about different careers within agriculture. So as you guys, so obviously within the cattle competition as well, but thinking what are the different career paths that you can take. Okay, so thinking we know that we have our different careers, so we're thinking we could do more production, so anything to do with on maybe a corporate farm, thinking more about families, and then obviously going more intensive or extensive type systems. You could also then work around more different commercial services. So it could be looking at building different technologies, communication, and as well. Then we have our non-commercial services as well. So if you want to work maybe for the government, so New South Wales DPI for example, again thinking more if you want to go into education. So I feel like there's a lot of students here that maybe want to pursue a career in ag as an ag teacher would also be another pathway for you. And then also thinking about that post-production within that value chain as well. You can also find some value there. So thinking more about marketing as well, or processing is what we find as well. But other students also not within the ag might do just maybe business or just a science degree, and then they can specialise back into our agriculture as well. So that's just a little bit of a wrap up around what we do at CSU, and this is mainly based in the Wagga campus. Now I'm just going to let Veronica finish off for this evening, and we can go from there. Thanks.
So this year CSU would love to present a scholarship for a student commencing at Charles Sturt University next year. So if you're wanting to come to CSU and pursue a career path in agricultural science, horticultural science or animal sciences, please apply. There will be a QR code there for you to follow through to that link. So if you are looking at considering a career pathway at CSU next year, there's $5,000 scholarship award for you to attend and just help with the financials of moving away from home. I know that can be quite scary, but yeah, just I guess moving away from the city and maybe going into a more rural setting can be quite nice new setting to come to be a part of. Once upon a time I was in Sydney and did my schooling in Sydney as well. I actually never did ag at school either, so you guys are ahead of the game there. But within the scholarship, when you go to apply, we just really want to see how interested you are in pursuing that career in ag, and obviously put in there you've participated in this cattle competition, and yeah, that's just what we would like to present for next year. Thank you.
So CSU really came to the party in supporting all of you in this room. So teachers, I know that was an unexpected announcement for you, so we will be giving you that information in the next couple of days. I would now like to invite students from Oak Hill to talk on their topic.
The Greater Sydney School Steer Competition has been a great experience for all of us students. We have learnt so much and have had a great time as well. This experience would not have been possible without the generosity of our sponsors. We'd like to thank the Manildra Group for this sponsorship of the competition, providing all the schools with 10 tonnes of feed for the steers to the value of $4,000. Thank you to the Charles Sturt University for their financial contribution of $1,000 in support of this competition.
We would also like to thank and acknowledge the prizes that were sponsored for this competition. Thank you to the Manildra Group for the vouchers that value over $1,000, hats and carry bats. Adam King, Agri West Windsor Branch Manager, for two $50 vouchers, and Daryl Holder from the cattle shop for $50 vouchers and other prizes.
Finally, a huge thank you to Diane, Gary and Rochelle Prattley of Shellygard Murray Grey Stud, who kindly supported this competition by breeding and selecting the steers. Without their support, we would not have had this competition. Thanks.
We had a great day at the training day and learnt so many new things about parading steers. We learned how to walk the cattle, like where to put your hands and where to stand when walking, how to wash the cattle, like brushing the fur down when they are wet so it is easier to rinse them off, how to clip the steers, and what you are looking for when judging the cattle.
I learned about what the right nutrition is for a steer in a day and what they should be eating and how much of it they should have to maintain energy and have protein to keep going throughout the day. I learned how to determine how much fat or meat there is on the cow. We have learnt so much from this one day, and I would like to say thanks to all the people who contributed to the day and organised it, especially all the teachers. It wouldn't have happened if so many people didn't contribute towards this awesome day. Thank you.
So, for our first presentation. So, as we'll follow the order of the ceremony of the live day to begin with, so that's best presented steer, and I'd like to ask Miss Cairns of Caroline Chisholm College, our host school, to come up and present. I'm going to ask that when we enter, if we can enter this way, receive your prize, and then come and stand in front, just slightly to the side, so that we can get your photo, please. So in sixth place, we have Arndell Aglica. So that's Arndell Anglican College in 6th place. In 5th place, St Columba's Catholic College. In 4th place, Colo High School. In 3rd place, Beebe Paulding College. In 2nd place, Caroline Chisholm College. Which makes the winning school, who had the best presented steer to be, MacArthur Anglican School. So a thank you to Ms. Cairns for presenting. I would now like to invite students from MacArthur Anglican School to talk about how they gentled and groomed their steer.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sarah, and this is Bryce.
During the Greatest Sydney Schools Cattle Competition, our school was tasked with the initial gentling and taming of all steers involved. This required getting them comfortable around students in a school environment, getting being brushed, halted, handled, and led.
We began by approaching them whilst they were in the race and brushing and patting them so they got used to human touch. We made sure they were comfortable with us being around and focused on not pressuring them or scaring them. We did this for a few days before we moved to fitting halters.
We started off by fitting halters and trying getting them inside our race, and once they were comfortable in the race, we led them on a long lead in our smaller round yard and started lunging them. We led them on a long lead. We worked on getting them used to having someone close to them. After this, we could walk them quietly within our round yard.
After the ballot, we focused all our attention onto our steer, S25 or Baxter. We began further training Baxter with the halter, walking him up and down the laneway with our other school steers. Once he was settled doing this, we introduced the open paddock environment and eventually a lead stick. Towards the end of the competition, we exposed him to the wash bay and to the feeling of the hose. It was difficult at first due to his nerves, but that was to be expected. Baxter got settled after a while and we were able to wash him with no fussing.
By the time Live Day rolled around, Baxter was able to be led by even our most junior members of our team. All our hard work in gentling and taming had paid off, and he took everything in his stride. Thank you.
So for the next award, I'd like to invite Mr. Compton from Beebe Holding up to present the recipients. So this one's the champion-led steer. For those at home and for those who didn't make it to the event, we found out the results during Live Day, and this is the event where the judge decides which animal on the day has the most valuable and marketable meat on an animal moving in the arena. So, in 6th place we have Richmond High. In 5th place we have Northam Grammar School. In 4th, St Columba's Catholic College. In 3rd, Caroline Chisholm College. In 2nd place, Arndell Anglican College. Which makes the champion best led steer and the first school to receive one of our lovely handcrafted trophies is MacArthur Anglican School. Well done to the recipients, and thank you for Mr. Compton for presenting. So I'd now like to invite Caroline Chisholm Catholic College up to talk about judging preparation.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Eloise in Year 9.
And I'm Olivia from Year 8.
And we go to school here at CCC. We're going to talk to you today about judging and preparation, not only of the steer but of ourselves.
Students in this competition had to work collaboratively and demonstrate communication and problem-solving skills to prepare their steer in order to receive good results in the competition.
They were required to be responsible for more than just the basics, like feeding and caring for the steer, but also preparing and training it so that it was ready to be paraded at the show.
Some important things that we learnt from this competition in terms of what you can do to prepare your steer for the show include earning the trust of your steer, establishing and maintaining a consistent feeding routine. This is to provide an adequate amount of nutrition to ensure the animal puts on the required amount of weight, and most importantly, practice.
An essential component of beef cattle parading competitions that also determines the success of the team is the preparation of the parader. It's one thing to prepare your animal, but you also need to prepare yourself for the competition.
Over the last couple of months, students in the Chisholm Agriculture team have stayed back and participated in after-school sessions with ex-student Brittany.
This would occur weekly and allowed our team to develop an understanding of the outcomes required for judging. From having these after-school practices with Brittany, we as a team have been able to work with each other to create an environment where we are able to ask questions and demonstrate our learning through judging our own steer. Additionally, these sessions help us become closer and more comfortable with our steer, which really paid off in the ring.
One example of the important techniques and methods we learnt from this experience was the conformation of a steer, specifically looking at the larger areas that showed more muscle, such as the rump or ribcage. As a team, we had to make sure our skills were perfect as we knew the stakes were high.
As part of judging preparation, we also learnt a handful of key terminology to steer us in the right direction. These technical terms played an extremely important role when it comes to judging cattle.
The use of technical terms shows the judges your understanding of what qualities make a good meat animal. Terms such as level top line, desirable amount of fat, and correct stance are good examples of terminology. These terms are used to describe features of the animal, such as the degree of muscling, growth capacity, balance, structural correctness, muscle to fat ratio, frame size, and the amount of coverage that the animal has.
Finally, we would like to take a moment to express our gratitude to the teachers in our school's agricultural department, as they too played an important role in the development of our knowledge. To Mr. Clerk, Miss Moore, and Miss Dodson. They helped our team develop their knowledge in a fun and engaging way. Participating in steer competitions allowed us to acquire a range of responsibilities as well as gaining relevant skills. So we'd like to thank them for giving us this opportunity. Thank you.
I'd now like to invite the principal of Colo High School, Mrs. Tara Cullen, up to present the next series of awards. So first up, we have the non-speaking junior judge. In 6th place, and for those that were not there on the day or are watching from home, junior judging, our students actually don't know the results, so this may come as a bit of a surprise to them. So in 6th place, we have Arndell Anglican College with Ivy Constantine. In 5th place, from Oak Hill College, Hunter Lennox. In 4th place, from MacArthur Anglican Anglican School. Christine Sutton. In third place from St Columba's Catholic College, Trinity Power. In second place from Caroline Chisholm College, Hayley Burton. And in first place from Beep Holding is Georgina Zara. So congratulations to our junior non-speaking. We'll ask Miss to stay for our junior speaking section, which is the next one. So junior judging speaking has the added complexity. Not only do they only have 15 minutes to judge the animal, but they have to have their speech written in that time too. So, junior speaking judge. In sixth place from Richmond High, we have Riley Taylor. In fifth place from St Columba Catholic College, we have Michaela Mercier. In fourth place from Caroline Chisholm College, Olivia Astanato. In third place from Beep Holding College, Tim Skibberis. In second place from North Holme Grammar School, Daniel White. So first place, champion junior judge from Arndell Anglican College is Adrian Kotrokanakis. Congratulations to the recipients, and thank you to Ms. Cullen. I'd now like to invite Veronica and Emma back again from CSU to present on the senior judging. So, senior non-speaking judge. In sixth place from Beep Holding College, we have Leo Ferrugia. In fifth place from Caroline Chisholm College, we have Jasmine Walker. In fourth place from Colo High, we have Jake Carmanzulu. In third place from MacArthur Anglican School, we have Sarah Peck. In second place from Arndell Anglican College, we have Sam Miller. which makes first place from Oak Hill College, Jack Ketchington. So, senior speaking judge. In sixth place, from Caroline Chisholm College, we have Phoebe Kruzik. In fifth place, from Arndell Anglican College, we have Ava Roach. In fourth place, from Colo High, we have Emily Said. In third place, from Richmond High, we have Kieran Chandler. In second place, from Oak Hill College, we have Cooper Buffo. And in first place, from MacArthur Anglican School, we have Megan Baker. Now, I think all the teachers would join me in saying that it's really remarkable to see some of these young men and women up here that have been doing this since Year 7, and some of them even before then when they accompanied their siblings or their parents. So well done. So the next trophy is only for first place, and this is the all-age team judging trophy. And this is the trophy that goes to the school with the highest combined points, totalling both seniors and juniors in the 4 divisions. So first place goes to Arndell Anglican College. So let's have a look at the tally points so far. I would now like to invite students from Richmond High School to speak on pre-competition preparation.
Fuck. Oh, sorry. Hey, I'm Dallas and this is Freya. We are Stage 5 students from Richmond High School. Today we are going to talk about how we prepared for the competition before it started. Firstly, Miss Gray and Miss Hoflag talked to us about what the competition was and how it all worked. As we haven't done this competition for a few years, there were lots of us that haven't been involved before. They explained that we would be getting a steer and raising it for 100 days before taking him to live day. They talked about the routines that we would need to have in place while Stanley was with us, and as a result we formed a feed roster and learnt how to make this his feed.
Next, we prepared the paddock that he would be spending his time in.
We ensured the water trough was clean and in working order, that his feed trough was secured properly, his hay hopper was set up, and that our donated pellets were unloaded and stored properly. We checked our cattle gear to ensure that we would have the gear that we would need to gentle him and lead him in the future. After opening ceremony, we gathered at the farm as Miss Gray brought Stanley from MacArthur Anglican College. We put him in his paddock and observed him for a bit before we left him to settle. After this competition had begun, we began working with Stanley as often as we could. Thank you to Miss Gray and Miss Hoflake for this opportunity.
Now, some of our speakers were very, very nervous today, so please, at the end of this, please go up and congratulate them. So, I would like, please, to invite Mr. Christopher Bradbury from Northholm Grammar up to present the next group of awards. So we have Junior Parader. First up is the novice classes. So in 6th place, from Caroline Chisholm College, Charlene Camilleri. In 5th place, from Richmond High School, Asha Sullivan. Got a bit tongue-tied, sorry. In 4th place, from St Columba's Catholic College, Kiralee Blaxland. And in 3rd place, from Beep Holding College, Ben Galea. In 2nd place, from MacArthur Anglican School, Rosanna Tarbottom. And 1st place, Oak Hill College, Oliver Lacey. Congratulations to our recipients of the junior novice classes. And now our junior experienced. In 6th place, from Oak Hill College, we have Spencer Robinson. In 5th place, from Arndell, we have Madeline Brooke. In 4th place, from St Columba's Catholic College, Olivia Hines. In 3rd place, from Caroline Chisholm College, Eloise McEwen. In 2nd place, from MacArthur Anglican School, Amelia Kravac. And 1st place, Beep Holding College, Riley Gauchi. Thank you, Mr. Bradbury, for presenting. While we're waiting, I'd just like to invite Stephen Hogan up to present. I think I saw him sneak in a little while ago. Yes, there he is. So, Senior Parader, we'll start with the novice. In 6th place, from Beep Holding College, Eva Galani. In 5th place, from Colo High School, we have Gabriella Jones. In 4th place, From Northam Grammar School, we have Luca Dalla Fontana. In third place, from Arndell Anglican College, Sam Miller. In second place, from St Columba Catholic College, we have Annalise Carroll. Which makes our first place getter from MacArthur Anglican School, Katie Ferguson. So congratulations to our recipients of the Senior Paraders Novice class. So now to Senior Experienced. And in sixth place from Caroline Chisholm College, Caitlin Smith. In fifth place from Arndell Anglican College, Caitlin Trinicado. In fourth place from Beep Holding College, Shan Zara. In third place from Colo High School, Olivia Bard. In second place, from MacArthur Anglican School, Micaiah Darby. So our champion senior parader from Oak Hill College is Alex Compton. So now the tally to help us see where we're going in the overall rankings. I'd now like to invite students from Beep Holding to talk about Live Day.
Good evening all. My name is William Hicks and this is Georgia Britton. We are representatives of Beep Holding College and we're here this afternoon to talk about Competition Day, which just happened under 4 weeks ago on the 13th of August. On the day, we arrived at school to get on the bus at 6:30 to arrive at Hawkesbury Showground at 7 o'clock. The atmosphere on the bus was buzzing the whole way there. We all just couldn't wait to finally have our skills and hard work be put to the test. In the morning, we spent our time setting up our area to make it look as good as possible while still battling with a steer that had the runs. Our setting up included constructing our clipping frame, laying hay and prepping water and food for the steer. After weighing and ultrasounding took place, we had to get the steer dry as soon as possible. We were tasked with finding talcum powder. None of us had any idea what this was until we realised it was just plain baby powder. We thought we were quite organised, but didn't realise once the day had started how truly unorganised we were. Firstly, we hadn't brought a hose to wash our steer, which left us filling up buckets with water to wash the steer. Secondly, we had forgotten one of our halters, which then led one of our teachers to rush back to school and pick it up, only to figure out that we only ended up using one of the halters anyway.
Keeping in mind that we were all novices, this was our first competition and our steer, Salt, was not kept at our school for over a month before the day. I just want to say thank you to St Columbus for looking after Bede's steer and allowing us to access it at your school in the weeks leading up to the competition. As our ag plot was 2 foot underwater in the recent floods, deeming our land unsafe for the animals. It was much appreciated as we would not have been able to have this experience without your generosity. Miss Cricks did her best to prepare us for the chaotic and thrilling day that was about to unfold. Although parts of the day did not go as we expected, they were the most memorable times. Getting to work with my peers enabled me to create a bond I never expected. However, having each other's backs through panic and stress to celebrating and proudness. Being able to watch each other grow throughout the experience has been nothing but a joyride for me. I believe that being exposed to this competition allowed me to use the knowledge I had learnt while developing more of an understanding of what it means to be a part of the agriculture environment and the trials and tribulations that follow behind. I know from our challenges on the day that there are many things we have discovered need improvement. However, I would not choose to change anything that happened on the day while preparing, as it created a memory that we will never forget. I am very grateful that I got to be a part of this experience, as it taught me how to work through controversial experiences and how to be resilient while having a great time. Lastly, I would like to thank all the teachers that collaborated together who made this opportunity available for us. Thank you.
I would now like to invite students from North Home Grammar up to speak about the learnings that they have that can be carried into the future.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We would like to say thank you for having us, and it is an honour to be here this evening. I am Marcus Johnson.
And I am Luca Delfantana. This opportunity has been helpful for getting experience of how to show is run and what we need to perfect our skills for next year's show. We have learned a lot from this experience. For me, I have learned all the criteria I need to be a fantastic herdsman, and I got more experience in how to lead our long-forgotten friend Sebastian around the ring. We as a team have learned a whole lot about how we need to make a good, effective progress journal, showing all the hard work we have to do with Sebastian. Our display, we presented not just pictures but graphs showing his rate and more information for other schools to read and learn. We took some notes down for next time when we come back about how our store has to present itself to the public and other schools for judging, making sure everything is clean and tidy and everything can move without any hassle.
In the few months leading up to the show, the Northern team had washed and groomed our steer too many times to count. Teaching the younger students the tricks we knew, we were able to give them the experience needed to lead them to the show in the coming years. Our steer, Sebastian, was fed with dried distiller's grain and as much oat and hay as he could want. We had recorded feeding our steer 2.5% of his body weight per day. By using scales in every lesson, we were able to record growth charts that had been on display in the show. Throughout the process, our school had run into multiple problems such as too much rain degrading our paddocks and taking time away from being able to prepare our steer to the best of our ability. Lastly, I would like to thank the judges and the stewards for coming out to this event to judge the steers and give feedback on the leading and judging of our steer. I would also like to congratulate all the schools here today on their excellent effort and their hard work preparing their steers. Thank you.
So I'd now like to invite the principal of Richmond High School, Angela Heath, to come up and present the next set of awards. So this next set of awards considers the beef appraisal in the judging section as well. So our champion junior judging team goes to Caroline Chisholm College.
Our champion senior judging team goes to MacArthur Anglican School. Thank you to Mrs. Heath for presenting. So, beef appraisal. I'd like to invite Mrs. Cairns back up to the podium, or to the stage rather, to help us present. So, in sixth place is MacArthur Anglican School. In fifth place, Colo High School. In fourth place, Caroline Chisholm College. In third place, St. Columba's Catholic College. In second place, Arndell Anglican College. And in first place rather, North Home Grammar College. Okay. Okay, I would now like to invite Mr. Garrick Mulcahy up to present the next award. So our champion school for overall student judging goes to Caroline Chisholm College. Thank you, sir, for presenting. So let's get an update on the overall tally. So we can see it's getting tight and there's some movement. So I'd now like to invite students from Arndell Anglican College up to talk about growth and weight gain.
Good afternoon. My name is Ryan and this is Andrew from Arndell Anglican College. Today we'll be talking about the growth and weight gain of our steer Sonic. When we first weighed Sonic, he had a weight of 353 kilograms. 7 days later, he had a weight of 330 kilograms. He had lost 23 kilograms in a week. Fast forward 4 days later, he had lost another kilo. On the 1st of June, he had finally gained some weight to 339 kilos. On the 6th of June, we weighed Sonic to be 354 kilograms, showing his weight was rapidly increasing.
42 days later, Sonic had gained 73 kilos on the 19th of July. Sonic now weighed 415 kilograms. On the 11th of August, a week before the show, on the 11th of August, Sonic now weighed 418 kilos. About a week before the show, Sonic got sick and as a result lost a fair amount of weight. Therefore, at the time of the show, Sonic weighed 354 kilos. Sonic had gained an average weight of 1.6 kilos a day. This is very good as the range for a good weight gain for a cow is approximately 1.2 to 1.7 kilos a day.
So, champion school carcass. On live day, we judge the lead steer based on the animal in the ring. Following that, the carcass of that animal is analysed, and we have an MLA judge come and do it for us. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here today, but she sends her regards. So I would like to ask, please, Dr. David Nockels of MacArthur Anglican School up to present the next set of awards. So in 6th place, Caroline Chisholm College. In 5th place, Richmond High School. In 4th place, Colo High School. In 3rd place, Beepolding College. In 2nd place, St Columba's Catholic College. Which makes our champion school with the best carcass results, with a ribbon and a trophy, is North Home Grammar School. Thank you, Dr. Nockels, for presenting. So while our photos are going on, let's get an update on the results. Now, this is the last time I'm actually going to show you the results before the reveal, because as you can see, it's quite tight. And we have 2 schools on equal first, with a few of the others breathing down their neck. Now, I wanted to go to an ad break, but I was told by Miss I wasn't allowed to, so we're going to leave it there. So I'd now like to invite students from Colo High School to talk about feed and rationing.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Olivia and this is Kaylee. We're from Colo High and we're here to explain how we calculated the feed rations for our steer. But first and foremost, I'd like to thank the sponsors and everyone who was involved in creating this opportunity for us all.
When our steer Slim arrived, we began to introduce the new feed gradually to give his body time to adjust to the change in feed. We calculated the amount of feed as 3% of body weight so that if our steer weighed 300 kilos, 1% of that body weight is equivalent to 3 kilos of feed. Therefore, 3% would equal 12 kilos of feed.
A new ration amount was calculated every week to maintain the needs for consistent weight gain. For concentrated foods, we used Manildra wheat pellets and crack lupins for our roughage feed. For our roughage feed, we used oat and hay and oat and chaff. His original desired
consisted solely of roughage, so in the first week, we altered the feed to a 20% concentrate and 80% roughage feed ration. The reason for this was so his body didn't have any rejection to the foods, as high roughage content is easier on the rumen.
The final feed change was 80% concentrate and 20% roughage. This was used for the rest of the duration of the competition. Thank you very much.
So I'd like to invite Mr. Philip Scollard from St Columbus Catholic College up for the next set of awards. So, Champion School, steer weight gain. A lot of you know your own data, but do you know the other schools? So in 6th place, St Columbus Catholic College. In 5th place, Richmond High School. In 4th place, Arndell Anglican College. In 3rd place, Colo High School. In 2nd place, Caroline Chisholm College. So with a weight gain of 165 kilos, the champion school is MacArthur Anglican School. So congratulations to the champion weight gain. I would like to invite Stuart Glover to present. Now, some of you might recognise Stuart as our judge for the live day, so thank you for being with us, Stuart. So, the champion school with the overall cattle results, so when everything was tabulated on the animal itself, is Caroline Chisholm College. Thank you so much, Stuart. I would now like to invite students from St Columbus Catholic College to talk about the herdsman competition.
Good evening, students and teachers. I'm Hannah Spinks.
And I'm Annalise Carroll. We are here today representing St Columbus Catholic College show team to talk about the 100 days spent with our Murray Grey steer, Spud.
Throughout the 100 days we spent with Spud, we had a range of housekeeping methods to ensure his welfare was always our main priority. We kept a logbook of his feeding, handling, washing that students, teachers and groundskeepers were to sign after these interactions. It was also important that we wrote down anything different in Spud's health or behaviour so that we were able to monitor and adjust it as soon as possible.
During ag, primary industries or show team lessons, we were able to work with Spud and to get involved with all aspects of feeding, weighing, grooming and preparing him for show. This helped us to expand our knowledge not just for Spud but for future cattle that we will work with. This data that we collected we were able to graph and present at our stall on the day.
In these classes, we were able to construct our display for the show. We presented graphs of Spud's weight gain, images of Spud and the main feed he was fed, which were oat and hay, and DDG provided by Manildra stock feed topped with molasses and canola oil. During show team meetings, we chose 2 people to be our herdsmen, Sean Gretch Axiak from Year 12 and Cardia Canusta from Year 10. These 2 wonderful students were able to speak fluently and confidently about the 100 days spent with Spud and our journey, along with our display.
The 100 days went faster than you can say Greater Sydney Schools Steer Challenge, because soon enough it was show day. After 2 years of COVID, we had a very fresh yet very keen show team who were eager to show our journey with Spud and the hard work everyone put in to make it happen on the day. The things we learnt from the whole experience, both individually and as a show team, we value so much, especially because we can use our knowledge to teach future students.
For both of our herdsmen, the feedback that they received from the judges about our stall after the event were things that we were all able to take into consideration for next time. These things were that we should label the photos and include which year group was doing what activity, ensure that our labels were readable from at least 3 metres away, perhaps get a larger display so that our table wasn't as cluttered, and to keep on top of signing people in and out of the roster.
Overall, we had such a great time learning over the 100 days about all the aspects of raising a steer and presenting our journey with him.
On behalf of the St Columba's show team, we would like to thank Ms Sibbald, Mrs Cusack, the judges and all of the people who organised this event and gave up their time to be there with us to assist us, not just on the day, but throughout the whole experience. Thank you very much.
So we come to the herdsman competition. Now this is something that was very much developed by Dr. Ken Langford, who actually was an ag teacher himself. In fact, I could probably admit he taught my mum. Sorry, Ken. So Mr. Langford, could you kindly come up to present an award that I know you're very, very passionate about? And Mr. Langford developed this, including a marking criteria. So not only are our students, parents and teachers and principals learning about the process of, or talking about how they care for the animal, all of the things that they consider, how they work as a team, and putting together a visual display which demonstrates all of this data. But he actually gets them to use a marking criteria to self-evaluate, to critique, and to work together to develop the response. So first up, we have the pennant, which is the student choice. So students actually get to assess their peers from other schools. They don't judge themselves because we know they'd get perfect marks in that. So without further ado, in number 1 and our pennant for this year is Macarthur Anglican School. So for our next award is actually for the herdsman competition itself, and Dr. Langford and an associate actually talks to the students and asks them questions. They have to give off-the-cuff responses about their animals. They have to have a display, show organisation, show knowledge of their animal, of the sponsors, of general animal welfare and care, of scientific and mathematical and knowledge, and a knowledge of WHS. And he ranks them, and he spends most of the day doing that to ensure that the data is true and to ensure that the students get the best possible way of conveying all that they've learnt in this program. So in 6th place, we have Oak Hill College. In 5th place, we have Richmond High School. In 4th place, we have St Columba's Catholic College. In 3rd place, Macarthur Anglican School. In 2nd place, Caroline Chisholm College. And in first place, Colo High School. So that's the last of the individual results before we name the champion school. But we're going to take a pause for a second. There's a number of groups of people, but there are a couple of groups that won't thank tonight. So I'm going to ask Dr. Langford and Steve Blunden to come up here, please. And they don't know this is happening, by the way. These two men here have no reason for putting in all the hard work they do other than the fact that they are passionate about agriculture. They're passionate about the young people sitting in front of us. They're not paid, they don't get anything from it. These two men here have put together the competition. I think the teachers here will agree. They're our backbone. They're the ones that rein us in, and sometimes it can be like roping cattle on a rodeo, because we like to talk and we're very loud, we're very flamboyant. These two men go out and source sponsors. They're talking to us 10 o'clock at night if there's a problem with an animal, if there's a bit of advice. They'll visit schools. These are the crux of our competition. These are the head. So can you join me please in thanking these two men for not only their work this year in re-establishing a competition when a lot of other competitions have died because of COVID, but can you also join me in thanking them for the opportunities that they have provided you, and also for the opportunities that they have enabled others to have the courage. Here in this room or in this competition, this year alone, we have a champion in the area of sheep. We have a champion in the area of cattle on the state level at the Royal Easter Show, and they've come from this competition. There are students that have gone on to literally shape the agriculture world from this competition, and these are the two men responsible. So the teachers, I know, are behind me, and I hope that you will be too in thanking these men, and we've got a small token of appreciation. And I'd like you to thank not only your teacher, but every teacher in the room, whether it's your principal, whether it's a teacher from another school, whether it's a teacher from a non-competing school. There's messages going on, sometimes at midnight. There's hours worth of driving. There's weekend feeding. And that's just this much of what they do. They're passionate and they love you for the gifts that you bring. So, can we have a round of applause for your teachers and all that they inspire you? And we've kind of already said thank you to the Prattleys, but we'd like them just to come up and receive just a small token of our appreciation for entrusting us with their animals. They didn't have to do this, but they saw a need and they rose to it. They trusted us with something that they had put years of work. And I'm going to brag on your behalf because I know that you won't. Their animals are actually bred for breeding. They're highly sought after from industry for the purposes of showing. So for them to trust young people in Western Sydney with an animal is huge. So thank you for letting us be part of it. Thank you so much.
I would just like to say thank you so much for inviting us today. It's been a wonderful experience being here with you, and just seeing the interest, the passion, and the work that you have put in. When our animals leave our farm, we're always so interested in knowing what happens to them, because they are very precious to us. When they're with us, we give them all the care and attention that we possibly can. It's very obvious from today and from all the results and the efforts that you have put in, through all the highs and lows that agriculture can throw you, and that has been very, very evident to all of us this year. I would just like to say how wonderful you have done, and thank you so much. And if we could be involved in you with the future and the program, which is a tremendous program, then we would be delighted to be involved. Thank you.
So we're going to ask them to actually stay and present the big one. So as mentioned earlier, we have a number of prizes that have been kindly donated. What our schools don't know, or what our teachers don't know, is Manildra came through again. So there's actually 3 tonne of feed to be distributed based on prizes, to actually take back to your farms and feed your animals post-competition as well. So teachers will discuss that at our exit meeting, but there's 3 tonne to be distributed between the schools. So thank you, Manildra, for that, and thank you, Agri West and the Cattle Shop. So I'd really love to throw to an ad break because I've always wanted to do that, but we can't. So overall, champion school. Deliberately left some of the order to last to confuse the winners. So let's see if you call it correctly. So the results on our screen. I'm a bit disappointed. The school that did, when they won it last time, were very loud. They're very quiet. So I don't know if they've seen, but the champion school is MacArthur Anglican School. So can I ask members of the team and their teachers to please come up? So that's it for our ceremonies. Again, a really big thank you for being here, and we really hope that you've taken a lot from this program. Again, thank you to Caroline Chisholm and all the wonderful work and the hard work that's gone behind this, and to our amazing guests, both presenters and sponsors. So I will hand over to your teachers to finish.
Sorry everyone, just quickly. If one teacher from each school could come and grab you a goodie bag that I have up the front for you that has your extra prizes and things like that in there. Thanks everyone.